Alright, episode 2 did very well, so I'm here back with episode 3. This time we're going to be covering misc, like armor and stuff, as in like glass dancer wraps, all that stuff. You'd think I would be doing like a E3 Illuminate or something like the overworld, but I figured that would get like repetitive. It's going to repeat like a bunch of stuff we see from the devs, from arenas, so I just wanted to make it something a little different. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, let's start off strong with the Pale Assassin's Cloak. This thing used to be incredibly rare until the Prima Donna loot update dropped. And now it's in like every other chest in Prima Donna's like 16 drops. Typically if you use this you're already like a pretty endgame and skilled player. But however you're just below the mark to be considered like a true sweat at the game. There are some armors that really say who's a true sweat and who isn't. But I'm gonna cover that later on in the video. And also, I don't know why, but this armor is usually associated with Petra's Anchor players. That doesn't mean other weapon types don't use this cloak though. When you see someone wearing the Glass Dancer wraps in Deepwoken, it could mean one of two things. One, they're Refreshy, straight out of Songseeker or Minestrela, using it for its genuinely good stats. Like I rolled a bunch of these with 22 HP, it's kinda crazy. Or number two, they're the sweatiest of sweat in Deepwoken that wear it because it looks good. Well, I mean, I can't really argue with it, it does look pretty good. If you guys have ever watched like a boss raid video, I can guarantee you 50% of the time they're going to be wearing a Glass Dancer wraps. Most of the time, you can actually distinguish from the two by going through a simple checklist I whipped up here. Number 1, are they wearing a Prophet's Cloak? Number 2, are they using a Shattered Katana or Forgotten Gladius? And number 3, do they have a bell? If you answer yes to any of these, my recommendation is to run away. Because even if you think you have the skill to win the encounter, it's a guarantee they're coming back either by themselves or with like an entire squad of people ready to gank you. The classic Royal Pathfinder. I've already covered this in a previous video, but I could not have like a video about arm accessory stereotypes and not cover the most iconic one. So I'm going to quickly go over it again. So basically, in a nutshell, right, 80% of the time they're luck packs, 20% of the time they actually know how to play the game, and there's a very high chance they're running Blind Seer, Azure, Flame, Medium. And if you are a Royal Pathfinder, one tip is that unless you're looking for a fight, you shouldn't wear the Royal Pathfinder because you become like an automatic target whenever you wear this thing. The Brilliant Pauldron. I've only ever seen one person wear it, and it's me. This little armor piece is basically my signature right now. Like how Supa has his like Vampirism Serpent's Edge that people know him by, and Tan Man with his Tan Man hair trademark. I didn't want to be like a generic Prophet's Cloak Glass Dancer wrap number like 422. I went with the second drippiest option I could find. And no, it wasn't a Smith's Glove. Smith's Glove looks pretty cool, but I like this better. So if you ever find someone with this on in like random public servers, there's a pretty high chance it's me. Oh yeah, and speaking of the Smith's Gloves. Alright, so imagine the Glass Dancer wraps, right? Except it only drops from Defs and Prima Donna. So it's like pretty hard to get, and it only has the sweat stereotype attached to it. That's basically a Smith's Glove in a nutshell. Anybody that wears this probably just didn't want to be like stereotypical Glass Dancer wraps player and looked for like a alternative but similar looking one. But now, because of so many people wanting that, Smith's Gloves users are also slowly growing in population. So pick which side you want to be, or be like me and pick neither and find your own thing. I feel like people are going to be in the comments if I didn't include this, being like, where's Starduster? So here it is. I cannot think of a stereotype for this, to be frank, because of how widespread and popular this accessory is. At least with the Glass Dancer wraps, it appealed to a very certain audience. But Starduster just looks really good in general, and a lot of people like it, so maybe you guys can think of a stereotype yourself, because this is way too general for me to think of one. With how many arm accessories there are, I feel like I have to cut it short here, or else this video is going to get way too long, past my usual 5 minutes, which isn't really good. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it off here. If you guys really like this, I can make a part 2 where I cover some of the more less popular ones like aristocratic coat, parkas, and like a bunch of other pauldrons and stuff. So yeah, this will probably be it for the video. See you guys next episode, maybe, if this goes well. Oh yeah, and also if you've seen the other episodes, tell me if I've gotten any better at this whole voiceover thing. I started reading from a script. I feel I sound more confident when I'm talking now instead of less.